Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Actor Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
I, Johnny Depp, a man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence.
I said yes. I am.
However, it seems like this victim knows on which side the truth is.
And Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his pants, didn't he?
I think I would remember.
Relevance.
Mr. Depp penis.
I'll allow. Next question.
If you don't break up with your partner in such a way that the whole world knows about it, then you are not Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Any relationship can end in court, but it's worse if they become public. For 5 years, the hype has not stopped due to the sensational breakup and the following trial of Depp and Heard. In the spring of 2022, a new round began. A lot of details and ridiculous nuances appeared. Does Johnny Depp beat up women? Is Amber Heard an aggressive cheater? How did Depp lose a piece of his finger? Why was Johnny's career ruined? Right now, together with you, we are going to figure out where the treasure called truth is buried. This is Biographer Express. Click on the subscription button and the bell if you haven't done it yet, and sit back and we start. It was 2009, and shooting of the film The Rum Diary, based on the novel by Hunter S. Thompson, started. Johnny played the role of a failed writer named Paul Kemp, who despite everything got a job as a journalist in one of the local newspapers in the Puerto Rican capital of San Juan, arriving from New York. In the story, Depp's character fell in love with an engaged girl named Chenault. Her role went to Amber Heard. That's how Johnny and Amber were introduced thanks to the picture.
Sorry.
At that time, both actors were in a relationship. Johnny had been married to French singer Vanessa Paradis for 14 years, and Heard was in a relationship with artist and photographer Tasha Venry. Officially, Johnny was not married because, according to the actor, "Never found myself needing that piece of paper. Marriage is really from soul to soul, heart to heart. You don't need somebody to say, okay, you're married." Today, we can understand his point. However, at that time, the relationship between the actor and singer had not been developing in the best way for several years. With the appearance of his daughter, Lily Rose, Depp gave up drinking, drugs, and an idle life, completely devoting himself to his family. But neither the children nor the joint vacation could keep the relationship between Johnny and Vanessa, who actually lived on different sides of the globe. And then there was shooting with a young beauty in the romantic scenes of The Rum Diary, especially in a scene of a passionate kiss. If only Johnny knew how that would come out.
Shit.
Remembering that moment, now Johnny said, "That moment it felt like something. It felt like something I should not be feeling. I think there was something in the kiss in the shower that was real." After the release of the film in 2011, Amber told Vogue magazine that, "Working with Johnny was torture. It was better than I ever imagined, which is really saying something." By that time, Johnny had stopped appearing on the red carpets with Vanessa, and even at the premiere of The Rum Diary, he was without his wife. After Johnny's solo performance at the Golden Globes in 2012, the couple amicably broke up. A new chapter of Depp's relationship began almost immediately after his divorce from Vanessa. The actors started dating and got engaged a couple of years later. Paparazzi noticed an engagement ring on Amber Heard's finger, and Depp confirmed everyone's guess by pointing to his hand. "The fact that I'm wearing a chick's ring on my finger is probably a dead giveaway. Not very subtle." However, the couple did not have life like a fairy tale, and the following year the romantic story began to rapidly turn into a dramatic horror, like a snowball overgrown with new rumors. In one of the recent statements of the actress, in 2013, Depp abused alcohol, drugs, and being in this state was dangerous and threatened her. Johnny often would not remember his delusional and violent conduct after he came out of his drunk or medicated states. Because I loved Johnny, I believed his multiple promises that he could and would get better. I was wrong.
I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar of cocaine out on the table. I realize that sounds weird.
I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
In May of the following year, the actress said that Depp started drinking heavily, threw things at her, and abused her during a fight on a private jet. According to Heard, Johnny kicked her in the back, knocking her to the floor and passed out in the toilet for the rest of the flight. We didn't see any evidence of that case, and Depp apologized by writing in a message that he couldn't remember what happened. Nevertheless, in February of 2015, the couple got married. The romantic ceremony took place in the Bahamas on Depp's private island, Little Halls, Pond Cay, and included only a couple dozen close friends and relatives. There was a beach, food from chefs, and snorkeling. The weather was perfect, and Depp and Heard were dressed in white. One of the actor's friends told to People, "Amber is a woman who can survive just fine without him. She is not needy. He likes that." Now, this quote can be appreciated from the other side, and it looks a little prophetic. A month later, according to Heard, Johnny went on a 3-day ecstasy binge when he was supposed to stay sober. But that's not all. Get ready. Johnny told me that I had not explicitly forbidden him from taking ecstasy. The argument heated up, and Johnny pushed me, slapped me, and shoved me to the ground before I retreated to a locked bathroom. Nevertheless, after that, the couple continued their relationship until May of 2016. Johnny threw a mobile phone in his wife's face, like a baseball pitcher, as Amber later stated. Obviously, at that moment, her mental state could not stand it, and Amber filed for divorce. But at that moment, she referred to irreconcilable differences. It's strange that the actress didn't announce all that before it. Heard petitioned for an injunction and claimed that Depp insulted her. But up to that point, Johnny's violence against Amber was out of the question. For the first time, that topic was raised at a court hearing in which Amber appeared with a visible mark on her face. As evidence in court, she provided photos where bruises were visible on her. Presumably, that was the result of a fight on May 21st when Heard called the police with a statement about domestic violence. Johnny denied all the allegations numerous times. Later, Johnny also pressed charges against Amber, saying that he was subjected to psychological violence because of her statements and inappropriate behavior. A day after the fight, on May 22nd, Heard was seen in an elevator with James Franco. They hid their faces from the camera, obviously knowing where she was, and went to Heard and Depp's penthouse. Officially, they were friends, but then why hide their faces if she just invited a friend to visit? Later, in May of 2016, Amber was seen in the same elevator with Elon Musk. It happened after a quarrel with Johnny, and according to the footage, Musk and Heard had a close relationship.
So that's
Jeez, is that true?
That's delightful.
What is that actually happened?
Of course it happened.
However, at that time, Heard was still married. It also became known the entrepreneur paid a significant part of Amber Heard's donation in the amount of $1.3 million out of the $7 million that she promised to give to charity ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles after her divorce from Depp. Most of it has not been paid yet. Many believe that Heard manipulated Elon, and Musk himself refused to testify against Johnny.
It's a trap!
As it turned out later, the actress was dating Elon Musk and model Cara Delevingne behind Depp's back. She had sex parties at Depp's mansion in Los Angeles while he was on set. That was confirmed by the actor's former housekeepers. As a result of all that, the actor's lawyer said that Amber was an abuser.
That Miss Heard physically abused him. She's the abuser in this courtroom.
Who do you think is right? Write your opinion about this whole situation in the comments. On August 13, 2016, the actress was interrogated by Blair Burke, a leading Hollywood lawyer hired by her ex-husband Johnny Depp. Johnny and I refer to his other personality, the part of him that is present when he beats me up. We call that the monster and have called that the monster for many years. I was petrified of the monster. During the interrogation, the actress said that Depp broke a lot of glass things that left glass on the floor, and the ground was covered with damaged objects, including silver candlesticks and a lamp, among other things. The police officers who answered the emergency call that night attended the hearing in 2022. In testimony dating July 18, 2016, Officer Melissa Saines said that Heard refused to give her name, so she did not know for several weeks who the famous actress was. Saines said Heard was crying, but she didn't see any marks, bruises, swelling, or injuries on her face. The officer also stated that she examined the apartment and did not see any traces of broken glass or broken things. Saines said Heard repeatedly shook her head in response to questions instead of speaking. Officer Tyler Haddon gave similar testimony. The police did not have sufficient grounds to believe that a crime had been committed. As part of the divorce, the stars agreed not to discuss their marriage and not to make derogatory statements about each other. The divorce was finalized in January of 2017. The actress dropped the charges against the actor that he used physical violence against her the day before the hearing on the injunction that should have started. Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. But already in 2018, Heard wrote the article for the Washington Post where she described the mistreatment of her, although she never mentioned Depp. The actor filed a libel suit for allegations in which his ex-wife hinted that he was an abuser, calling her accusations a hoax, which was why he lost about $40 million in profits. Depp presented his version of events. According to him, Heard was aggressive and violent and hit him twice in the face on the night of April 21, 2016, because he was late for dinner on her birthday. The actor threw the phone on the sofa and didn't hit the girl, and Depp did not touch Amber himself. He claimed that Amber started yelling at him after he walked across the room. That's when his guards came in and she started crying. The British edition of The Sun called the actor a wife-beater, and Depp sued them for libel. In November of 2020, the court ruled against Johnny. Supreme Court Judge Andrew Nichols said that the newspaper's allegations about Depp's behavior were essentially true. After that, the London division of Warner Brothers excluded Johnny from the shooting schedule of the third part of the franchise Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Johnny was stripped of the role of Gellert Grindelwald, asked to leave himself, and later completely replaced the actor by Mads Mikkelsen. The same thing was done by Disney, abandoning its main pirate. But Johnny didn't give up. In an Instagram post after the trial, Depp dedicated himself to fighting to tell the truth and called the verdict surreal. The actor filed an appeal in 2021 because of an article for the Washington Post in which the actress talked about domestic violence. Depp insists on compensation of $50 million.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights have been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine.
In 2022, a new round of defamation proceedings began, which was no longer taking place in Britain, but in Fairfax, Virginia. Johnny spoke about his experiences growing up with an abusive mother, his combat with psychotropic substance abuse, and his turbulent relationship with Heard. Never did I myself reach the point of striking Miss Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life. The 58-year-old actor said his goal was the truth in the libel suit, which was directed against Heard, unlike the libel suit in the UK, which was directed against the publication itself. Since I knew there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it was my responsibility to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children, who at the time were 14 and 16. But what happened next? The details of the actors' personal lives that were revealed during the interrogations went beyond normal. It seems we've gotten to the point we've all wanted to find out. During the interrogation, Johnny Depp's telephone correspondence with his friends was revealed, in which the question of his psychotropic substance abuse arose.
I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
Amber and her lawyers were strongly interested in the topic of Johnny's drug abuse, obviously feeling what they can pressure. They asked the actor a lot of provocative questions, and one day Amber Heard told the court something that was already hard to believe.
He said he was looking for his drugs, his cocaine, his coke. He was telling me we're gonna conduct a cavity search, shall we?
Later, in correspondence with his personal doctor, Depp called himself a monster, which was emphasized by Amber Heard's lawyer Ben Rottenborn. The actor replied that he said it about himself only to calm Heard. Johnny and Ben Rottenborn have argued at more than once during cross-examination, thereby creating memes. Rottenborn repeatedly interrupted Johnny during his testimony, citing that all that he said was just a rumor. When the actor once again noticed that his testimony might face an objection, he taunted Heard's lawyer, saying, "Probably these are rumors," thereby causing laughter in the audience.
It appears that Miss Heard had told
Hearsay, Your Honor.
she would like for him to cook. That's hearsay, I guess.
I know, if just sure soften for the truth of the matter, sir.
He got it.
Okay, all right, well then.
I'm learning.
The actor also accused his ex-wife of refusing to give him medicine during his detox course. He actually had to beg her to give him medicine, but she refused, saying it's not time yet. Finally, video recordings and audio clips of the former couple's conversations were played. One video showed an abrasion on Johnny's face, and in one of the audio recordings, which according to the actor was fabricated, Heard allegedly asked Johnny not to cut himself. That happened in 2016 after the divorce. Amber invited Johnny to a hotel room despite a restraining order that she herself imposed on him. I was quite confused as to why I had been summoned to her at that point, since all the news was just about the fact that I had allegedly done all these horrible things to her. So I was talked into going there and met with her in hopes that she would retract her lies, that the world was now fed. In no way was she ready to do that, and I couldn't understand why I was there. Everything had been taken from me. My children couldn't escape the fact that all this had gone down. Depp sensed that he was lured there under false pretenses, but he couldn't take it anymore. He had a knife in his pocket, so he took it out and handed it to her.
Here. Cut me. That's what you want to do. Ultimately, you've taken everything. You want my blood? Take it. Have my blood.
But Heard replied, "No, no." Depp continued to say, "Look, if you're not going to take it and you want it, I know you want it, that's all I've got left. Take it." That was because at that moment, Johnny sensed that he was broken. That was the end. And if she didn't do that, then he would do it himself. By the way, Amber recorded the video on the sly. And what can we say about the bed? During the interrogation of a longtime employee of the actor Starling Jenkins III, who had been working for him as a driver, security guard, and personal assistant since 1993, one incredibly ridiculous situation surfaced. Jenkins recalled accompanying Amber to the Coachella Festival in 2016. One night, when Amber was on her way to the festival, they had a conversation about a surprise she left in the boss's bed. Johnny, finding out that Amber would not be in the house for some time, wanted to stop there to take away some of his especially precious things. But the guard replied, "I don't think now is the right time." Depp thought, now is the time. She won't be at home for 2 days.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Then he showed me a photograph on his telephone of... It was a photograph of our bed, and on my side of the bed was human fecal matter. I mean, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh. So I did not go down there that day. Heard tried to blame dogs for her joke, but Johnny, looking at the photo, replied that he had lived with those dogs for many years and they didn't do it.
I think Jack Sparrow was more drunk than Johnny Depp, to be honest.
It became even more fun when Depp's lawyer was asked if it was true that the actor urinated in the foyer of the house that he and Heard rented in Australia in 2015 during the filming of the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales movie. He admitted that he heard a noise in the house, and when he entered, he saw Depp in the foyer.
And Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his pants, didn't he?
I think I would remember
Relevance.
seeing Mr. Depp's penis.
I'll allow. Next question.
The alleged urination incident was rumored to have provoked a fight between the couple. Well, now we cannot remember the situation when Heard threw a bottle of vodka at Depp, as a result of which part of his finger was chopped off.
Which finger was cut, Mr. Depp?
It's the middle. It's the funny-looking one.
However, when Depp got to the hospital with a damaged finger, the first thing he said was that he just slammed it, getting stuck in a big accordion door. The actor did not want to frame Amber and covered up the crime she committed. The fact was that his ex-wife was to blame for that, Johnny told much later. I lied because I didn't want to disclose that it had been Miss Heard that had thrown a vodka bottle at me and took my finger off. I didn't want to get her in trouble. I tried to just keep things as copacetic and as easy as possible for everyone. I did not want to put her name in that mix. And this incredible story continues to develop. The trial is still underway and it is unknown what decision will be made. As you can see, another story which can be used as the plot of a detective judicial drama is unfolding very publicly. Come to think of it, this is sad enough. Whoever is really to blame there, personal life is personal, and you will not wish such a public trepanation to anyone. The whole story had an extremely negative impact on Johnny's career. We hope for its quick completion and wish that truth and justice prevail. And if you click on this icon, you can watch a detailed video with Johnny's biography. Here you will learn about his difficult childhood, relationships with women, and little-known facts about films with his participation. Follow the link and watch. It's interesting. And that's all for today. Don't forget to like it if you enjoyed our video. The Biographer Express was with you. By the way, we are already preparing a new video, so see you soon.